Harris-Kenfinity here, and here are my top 5 movies based on my favorite TV rewatches, TV shows. Starting off with Amazing that will come from the Amazing Review. So first, Bewitched, 2005. This amazing actor. This is the big break for you and for everyone wanting reruns of Bewitched again, because this amazing actor, just quick overview, needs his career. Oh, that's always the quickest. Please do this revitalizing of one of the most clever and unforgettable, always here for you, sweetheart. After you stop only speaking Italian series, now from that amazing series Bewitched, this actor who needs his career back, only on top, is offered the role of being the new Darren, and like they want to replace Darren, and nobody knows. But the dedicated producers, and completely solidify how you are the producer, Jack. Yeah, you're the one. So he's doing this now, and they're auditioning every possible, amazing housekeeper, sweetheart, taking care of Tabitha, and his mother. Talking about that this is what she wants to do while still loving your mother, Samantha. Trying to find best Samantha, and especially the one and only, who can do it. Yeah, here it is. Because it's not really your nose. Yeah, it's not really. Like, it's so subtle how your nose moves from it, and it's such a fun story of how it actually came to be from like, the original Sam and everything. So they don't find her Sam until living a regular life. We meet an actual witch, Isabel Bigelow. So we actually meet a real witch. So she's living her life, brand new neighborhood, and a father. Why do you have to live this many mortals? Her father wants her to stay a witch. So this is her father wanting her to. Like, Daddy, something new. Come on, I love paying with my own credit card. I love paying in the first place. I actually have to live like a regular person. And I don't really like when they say mortal. Oh, you're just a mortal. No, she's a person. So it's awesome. He has an amazing cat, and their neighbors come over, and then just in this nice bookstore, she's seen, and her nose just barely a twitch, looking at this new book, and the other side here is Jack, preparing even more to be the brand new screen. Advertise, because there was literally an advertiser, Monarch, so finally, you will audition. So, buys her coffee, talks to her, and you'll do it? Yes! Yes! So she comes in, she gets the role of Sam, of course, and her sweetest neighbor, alrighty, hi again. And our neighbor comes over like, I got the role on the new Bewitched. Bewitched, oh! That's the one with the genie, right? No. No, just as memorable. Yeah, so now we're working on it. And they literally do a great job, because they literally, the first episode of this new series is recreating one of the early episodes where, Sam and Darren go to one of Darren's old girlfriends' houses and wants to meet, Sam now. Oh yes, because they're engaged and everything. Yeah, him and Sam are, and they're recreating out on the set in the actual movie. Like, how could you do this, Jack? Like, Isabel does not really like Jack right now, so she actually makes him mess up his lines, and you gotta see the director too, like Jack, okay, interesting. Let that be the interesting take. Now let's do it as written, okay? And it's quite exciting because like they're actually doing it in front of a live studio audience instead of what the show did, and it was recorded. They call it canned laughter. It kind, yeah, basically. But sometimes it sounded like there was a live audience sometimes, but it was not. On the original show, they heard a live audience, and then the actress playing indoor is always going to be spot on. It's so funny because she gets to know Isabel's father, actually, even more charm forever. And actually, those actors have all of the history together. Yeah, Shirley MacLaine and the owner Mark Klein. They actually have, they worked together years ago in the movie. So that's so cool. And just this whole film, and then reconnecting with the real Uncle Arthur. Uncle Arthur, what are you doing in there? Because he was literally he popped up in a picture, and this was on the original show. This is one of my favorite. Father, what are you doing in there? I've been framed. And you know, hi, yes, I am me. Already back and already got this job there. This job, now, if you ask me, this fun, this fun advertiser needs a good kick in the billboard. One of my favorites. And on Clara, it was Isabel. She actually had, I think she was actually on Clara. Yeah, because Isabel, she has a family member who also, was always excited. She finally made the chimney landing. Because she like fell through the chimney, and on Clara, thing with her is like she would always, I remember. I do remember. This something would go wrong with her magic. And then here, Isabel actually has an Aunt Clara. She just happens to, like, without knowing the show. Because they're like, the witches and these warlocks, they do not know what bewitched is or was at all. So it's such a clever, it's a fun, it's one of those, it's such a fun, but it's one of those charming romantic comedies. And I would be a witch. I'm in your on the spur. And then also being back on top is an amazing actor and creating new love, find new love. So it's so cool how it's they are remaking so much of the of the characters and the feel, but it literally is them. It literally is this romantic comedy, utilizing Bewitched as a way of getting these two to then fall in love. Because it's literally these actors and this real witch, they don't know she's a real witch, bringing this classic TV show about a mortal and a witch falling in love, being back together. So it's so cool how it's already this fun romantic comedy, and then they're already blending it with one of the most famous TV shows all time. And then, yeah, it's just kind of like when they ever talk about the original show, like they only show the black and white, but not bad. That's okay. And then I just love and just how they're just so immersed in all because they have these characters in this movie and then with the show. And then one of my favorite things that also here, like, no matter the craziness, especially when Dora gets there, and then Oliver and Serena, all our family members, no matter Darren just got turned back into a human, these toys are not moving, and Larry is an adult again. You gotta see the show, so many crazy things. But at the end of every episode, it's Darren and Sam. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. Maybe even more normal in the morning, It always just goes back to them loving each other. These are back to normal finally. So I can never forget. Are you in my spare? And flipped back over from my latest review, the 96 Flippers. I already talked about reviewing it all, but I just love it because I had not really seen Flippers. The flip side of a TV show I will enjoy. Or watch Flipper really. But it's just so much fun. How this dedicated, dedicated reservoir from the great ocean blue is keeping this amazing dolphin on its amazing creatures. One and only Porter, and then this awesome nephew wants everything to do, and then he becomes more awesome because he will know Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, and that will be a good vibration. And making a new friend, he does. Sandy, the only nephew. So it's literally just bringing back, the amazing friendship with Flipper that Sandy creates and everything, and actually naming him Flipper, and then hold on to your waterway, yeah, to your water fins, hold on to your guitars, saving all the Arvasianic, best friends, every single creature. Yeah, that also makes the sizable the biggest splash. Along with brand new need for Flipper. Yeah, so it's too unforgettable how, this is so much fun. You got Flipper back, and you have this dedicated uncle getting to know even cooler nephew, man. So he's already made a review. You gotta check it out. I've not really seen the show, so check it out. But it is based, huh? Next, we got D93. Family Hillbillies. Oh, here's a story about a man named Jed. You know, and they stick very close. Yeah, yeah, to the original. Woohoo! You know, finally striking oil, get to go back to California. I just on one trip only. And I just love how backwoods they are. Like, they literally do not know that a pool is not it's not a cement pond. It's not a cement pond. So it's just so fun. Like, literally, how they constitute such simple things, you know, us living in cities that they don't really know about in the country. Not really. And yeah, and how I really liked how much slicker, you know, the banker and the original lady, you know, oh, these customs would never be in Hall. You know, the original actors, you know, but I love how these people were more slick. That made more sense for the 90s. Like, they were much more slick and conniving with getting the Clampets to agree to everything. It just want to be. You know, here was they struck oil. So it's so clever how they did that. And the cast did a great job because, like, even though they don't, you know, quite look like Will Graham and Jethro, they do look like the original. But come on, even more country Jim Barney. He put his whole heart into it. Remember him and Ellie Mae and what happened to his wife, and him starting anew with this new. So yeah, it's really cool how they dive deeper into how this is a new life for him because he lost his wife, him and Ellie Mae, and Granny and his nephew Jethro driving him around still, and how they're enjoying the most. The most country music. Hold down, opening celebration of your first night. No more deposit on the mansion. You'll finally arrive. You're living for real. You can live any better. Woohoo! Oh, to take over. So, I'm back in control, and now it's the same Granny Stew. And even warmer. He's on the original show, Jed. He was, just too wise for you, Jed. Rome, and then why don't you just throw another log in the fire before you'll see your boyfriend, the actor? Because even on the original show, Ellie had a boyfriend who was an actor, and his mother did not approve. You gotta see, so literally more of their classes being separate classes, so it's so cool. How here, we get even more into them, and then there's a Barnaby Jones. There's a striking resemblance to a very strong and little stoic original Clampett. So it's fun how they add so much more than the of course the 90s ancillary spoof fun, but the core is getting over what happened and starting this new life, Mr. Clampett and stuff. So it's so much fun for all those reasons. Next, that's the way in the Brady Bunch movie. So Brady Bunch movie, the Bradys were frozen because they're the same age that they were when about the same. Look the same when the show ended. Greg's like right there, teenage, almost out of high school in Marshall. Jan and Peter right behind him. Of course, Bobby Cindy is a little bit older. So they're the exact same ages that they were. But talk about full grunge. Still wonderful neighborhood. But what do you think you're doing? In the neighborhood back on top, eh? So this neighborhood, they need this plan to make their neighborhood more viable. We got to see it. And they got it. They do have it. Because there's just one only architect who can make things even grander. And there's just this one family holding out on what they want to do with the neighborhood. Who's that? Do. And that's how we find out that it's these Bradys. And they do a great job acting as the character. Because it's literally them acting as the characters, not the actors. And then this amazing cameo by the original, I'll say Johnny Bravo. The original real Johnny Bravo. And when Greg wants to be a songwriter, it's so cool because the kids they're doing what they do regularly. Yeah, so of course Marsha, even more on top, with a brand new friend in school, and it said like something really funny. Oh yeah, her friend in school, and then Jan. I'm the one and only Jan Brady. Why is it always about Marsha? Marsha. Oh, they do such a great job. And Cindy, or to get the proper definition for everything, simply, And yeah, and barely changing. One more time. Repeater. Was changing. And Bobby, bicycling forever. Bicycling forever. And then of course Alice, brand new meal. Already propped up for tonight, folks. Oh, Alice, what we do without you? Probably eat out. Yeah, yeah. But I know you won't again. Yeah, I love her. And here's the best one, almost beautiful in blue and white apron. I love it because I'm a Brady brain. I love the original series. Especially, I'll talk about it every once I'm done talking about the movie. So, literally, it's the Bradys being the Bradys, while all the grunge, all the fun of the 90s. Man, yeah, you know it's not what I'm after, Marcia. This one possible boyfriend. He's definitely a boy trying to get Marcia. And but they're still playing. Thank you, girl, for making the morning brighter. Girl, for making the nighttime nicer. They're still playing that, David. Yeah, so you gotta see it, especially if you are a Brady fan. And it's literally at this neighborhood getting back on top, and it's literally taking the Brady's and putting him in this modern, being the 90s, and 90s, the beat that was modern. That's when it came out. So putting the Brady's in that modern context, and that's it. It's basically, and they do a big town show where you can hear them, you can hear the music from 26 miles away. Ooh yeah, ooh. Yeah, we're gonna keep on, keep on. So they play all those songs, singing. And then they sing more songs in the Barry Brady sequel now. And it was such a clever, joke everyone has had for so long. Idea for a joke, idea for a follow up. Because like, just you have this amazing heirloom, golden basically, that's been in the Brady's house. And then you have this notorious thief trying to steal it. So what does he come up with? Hey, I'm Carol's husband. The thought was supposed to be like, he was Carol's original husband. That's what he comes up with. Because, they were the Brady Bunch, Mike and Carol, they already have that's the theme song. So they already have their kids, and then the unforgettable wedding splash of the wedding cake. I love it. I love it. I love that show. Happen. So he's pretending that but Mike, of course, now kids. He has all the wise words. Who else is getting rid of this? And then, so he's trying to take the kids on this great adventure, try to take him somewhere so that then, he can, get the treasure no problem. Yeah, because they go to this specific place in Hawaii. He can, he can get the proper, he can get the proper notoriety and everything because of he literally took it from the house and he's trying to go, but the family wants to go with him, so the family goes with him to Hawaii because he's trying to get big money for what he stole from the Brady house. That's why. And then, dude, they know it's time to change, time to rearrange. And he takes them out first to get to know them a little bit, or them to trust them a lot. And then he takes them on the plane, and they let me hear some of that good time music, literally through the aisles that I love to hear. I've got plenty of blues and blues that I need. Oh, mommy's on cheer. They do the whole routine in the aisles. they do such a good job of sounding like the original. These are different actors. They do a good job, but no one is the original Brady does. But it's so funny. And then everyone in their seats. You always have that one main protester. Hey, why don't you check? Come on, what are you doing? And then the flight attendant, or it's a flight attendant, because they're still doing guitar music. Ding! Excuse me, but with the passengers singing and dancing, please return to their seats and please just shut up for the rest of the flight. Yeah! All the rest of the passengers, yeah! Finally! She did it. So she was their savior. And so the Brady's, they're returning to their seats with still good time music. It was a nun with a tambourine. Good time music. music. While they're turning to their seats, is the guitar music. They did that to a T. Because if you watch you can watch it on YouTube, the original performance, and how they perfectly spoofed it. And so, long story, kept in the Brady's living room, the den. So, of course, that thief does not get away with it. But then, is this Mike's original wife from reruns? Because they have another famous TV star at the very end, like, I'm Mike Brady's wife. No. So that was fun. And those movies were fun, but I do love, Brady Bunch Variety Hour. Very Brady Christmas. That was a top rated Christmas special. And I've been watching interviews, and they do a Brady Bunch convention in New Jersey, of all places. And Greg Barry Williams, he literally teaches everyone Brady choreography because there's a few specific dance moves. The Sunshine Day, it's my favorite song of theirs and everything. Yeah, that one, and you got to be in, yeah, that one, and you got to be in love to love a love song. I love those songs. Yeah. And that's when he was the real Johnny Bravo. Because me going over, hip hop, I love Johnny Bravo. Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, the place. I know I'm getting off on tangent, but that's where Johnny Bravo, the name came from, bro. Yeah, yeah. So that's where the name came from and everything. I love that show, and it's just so fun. Like, so yeah, it literally is like if you froze the Brady's when the show ended, because they're like right there at the ages that they were when the show ended, and then you saw them out in like the pivotal, is mid-90s. So yeah, things are, a little harder edge, some things, but still nice, still fun, but it definitely has that 90s edge on everything else, not them. So you gotta see it. It's hilarious. Both of them is fun. But nothing this. But you gotta watch the variety show. If you just want the weirdest laughs and most fun, you gotta watch the variety. And amazing guest stars, you gotta watch the variety show. Okay, and back to all of these movies, The last, definitely the kookiest, because the Addams Family, 91. Awesome. Created only, and I'm so glad that this is only created from needing to keep your Addams Manor, keep the Addams Family Mansion. Because, man, the never relenting real estate agent. This is not, this property is possible to be mine. Now he's relentless. But the Addams already got rid of the most festive and the most wonderful Christmas carolers. They already got them all. Their property. And, it's most of the Addams. Yes, and even more, just dramatic, and just even more theatrical Gomez. And, nice Morticia. They're pretty much the same, because, it was based, the original comics, the comic strips by Charles Addams. But then, the show really added a lot of things, too, of course. So, it's most of them, but there's no Fester. Yeah, it doesn't even talk like that. But, Fester had been gone for years. She was long lost. And then this, the lady who's working with the dedicated real estate agent, she has a son who, without the good perm and sweat and only a turtleneck, he looked like Fester, like because he had this big black like Fester and the big black rings around his eyes, like the real dark, around his eyes and everything, maybe not rings, and it looked like Fester. He was hunched over and stuff. So they froze him. They pose him as Fester. Finally you're back. And then they have a big. Here it is. So you get all the main point. Big family reunion. Oh, you're back. Yeah, but they bamboozle the Addamses out of their house, so they gotta find a place to live. And then Gomez is watching Sally, and he's like, "Oh, because it's one of those big personality shows, talk shows. Let's take a message from our caller. Whatever, she helped this family get back on track. Let's take a message from one of our callers. Yes, you're live with Sally. Sally, Mr. Gomez, we told you not to call because he's calling her. He's slumped over because things are terrible. They're not in their house anymore. We told you not to call us anymore. And Sally, she's on her show, holding her microphone. You know how she's in between the audience on the stairs. So yeah, Mr. Gomez, we told you, please don't call us anymore. Oh, but amazing Fester realization. Now you gotta see it that he actually is Fester. That he actually is not Hassan. He is not your dedicated. Oh, mama, no, just let me weather this new Vaseline. But no, he's with that. He is an Addams. And last thing I gotta talk about it. You know how we did the mamuska and more the mamuska in St. Paul. We did it in Waterloo. We did it, the Pillars of Egypt, and now we do it for you. So how they we do it in initiate festival back in by doing mamushka. I love him and Gomez at the very end. Mamushka. Hey, they are. I can see some of the family being from Russians. They all very mysterious, but also friendly. Why not to be any part of the Soviet whatever? So it's very interesting. I love them forever. So that's fun. And then Addams Family Values. There's a new Addams. It's a baby. And yeah, well, Pugsley and Wednesday are waiting in the waiting room because they had a lot in the first movie, especially Wednesday in the first movie. No, but Pugsley is always the target. If you get it, he's always the target. Yeah, FA Valley, yeah, while they're in the waiting room, because Morticia is having a new baby. Wow. And you could just see the enthusiasm. She talks so lightly and everything. And the emotion is even more never dead. So, taking to Morticia and everything. And, finally, to rush out with, it's an Addams. Literally, it's an Addams. Wow. I mean, it would be the opposite of kooky if it didn't just bring up that it's an Addams. So we meet Gomez Jr. Man, I mean, his maturity is already through his bloodstream because he already has a little pencil mustache. Yeah, and even more. Just perfectly potted while he finally is getting started. And now this unbelievable babysitter wants to become the nanny. Now they have a new life. They're so much busier, dear. Even for grandmama, too busy. So they hired this beautiful nanny who Fester is only, the most bashful to never be too close from. Hi. She wants to get to know Fester because in their family lexicon, Fester is still wealthy. So they get to know each other. And then from Peter Graves, we find out that there is the Black Widow. She marries the wealthiest, illustrious men underneath, but you might know her as Samantha Turnerbaum, or just Dolores Spencer, but her real name has not been known. And then she's literally just watching this, eating bonbons. She lurks from town to town, and she's like, oh, and just goes out like, oh, I'm so scared. Not of myself. All he's talking about, you gotta see it in the moment. She goes from town to town. Ooh, don't care. Well, I wish they had extra caramel filling, strawberry filling. That's all she care about, like my taste buds. So she gets Faster. No, they got married. And he's carrying out with all of his back, because you know how he hunches over with all of his back straight. Never will stay married. So of course he has to be rescued. And so that, man, the most monotone, I'm rescuing my family. Wednesday is out of the way. her and Pugsley get sent off to this amazing summer camp with the most it was the perfect casting for the directors. It was Christine Baranski, who's me forever, and Peter McNichol, who's so fun, and he knows the right way to command me, Lord. Go from Ghostbusters 2, command me, Lord. I love it. But no, they're hysterical in this. And of course, you got my father just bought another store. So fun, so cool. The number one preface, star of the camp play, the exact opposite of Wednesday. So, gotta do this for the plays of the first Thanksgiving. We're haunted. Even though it's summer, they're doing the first Thanksgiving. No problem, I guess. Be even more thankful. So put on this play, and they think that they've got Wednesday to love the Brady Bunch, love tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow, because they literally put her in front for hours, and this put her in the sunny side up cabin. And just watch for hours, the brightest, in all childhood entertainment, children entertainment, family entertainment. Yeah, she's finally changed, barely. Because when she get out, she is still the one and only. I am Pocahontas. I win. Completely turning it on what actually should be. Never the creepiest foreign Addams. So it's awesome. How Fester has to be annulled from being anywhere. That's not the safest bathtub. He tries to get rid of him. You gotta see how they got her, Black Widow. And then, I liked the idea of having a new kid, but just being like Gomez. There's so much more that you could do, but it was fun. And then it's not really the main focus. It's, a lot of Fester and more of Wednesday and Pugsley this time, but also Gomez, learning to let go. This is my little brother. And then also they were separated for years and everything. But these movies definitely were deeper in the melancholy and the weirdness. Because the original show was a little bit more, hey, our kids, they have to go to this school next. Next most delightful arrival of the 10:45 and 8 o'clock only trains. Crash the trains. The original show was a little bit more light. It's some of the tone and everything, but these movies are a little bit more in the atmosphere and everything. But they're just as fun. And they play great homage to the series, the original series specifically. Yeah, and all of these movies, even if it is not exactly Bewitched. It's a fun romantic comedy. Oh, we can be together because we're doing this with Bewitched, literally, and actually being frozen in time, and the Brady's living in our world as if things did not change. It's hilarious. It's so good. And they did such a great job of reenacting certain things, especially with being such a Brady myself. And I want to talk about my favorite episode. My favorite episode of the original show is one where Mike's dad comes and it's Carol's mom, but they're played by Robert Reed, who played Mike. Literally the parents, the actors who played the parents, Robert Reed and Florence Henderson. They're playing their parents. So yeah, Bob is playing his own dad, and Florence is playing her own mom. And yeah, Mike's dad was a judge, and Florence's mom loved the judge. It was so much fun. And the one where Peter, they did some really interesting, they did some really fascinating family situations, and and having actors play multiple roles. And Bobby, he cannot run away from home for long. Come back home. It is more hotels. Coming back home, and there's an episode about adopting. I love it. And camping, and the one where Carol, she lost her voice, so she couldn't sing for the church, and got her voice back. So there's so many fun stories that just brought me even closer as a family, as a bunch, very much. I love the original show. Movies were good. All of these movies are shit. Especially, because it's just so much because Beverly Hills is perfect mix of this a funny comic farce with having a new life for Jed, and it's perfect blending of that. So all these movies are fun. And it's an interesting topic because you don't really think about movies too much, like favorite series, but it's so awesome. how it even connect no matter returning to this screen, so how you can make your movie even grander by having this TV history in the show. And switching up, like Bewitched, like not being directly just a remake of the show or telling of the show. So please check it out. What are some of your favorite movies that are either inspired based on TV shows, or just movies that are based off of things that you love? So please check them out. Please. And there's other like Wizard Waverly. Well, that's a little different. Like that's literally a movie during the show was made. I'm talking like these are movies that were made after the original show. So that's it for Wizards Waverly Place, and it is magic, So please check these out. Please like, subscribe, notification bell, no all new videos come out. And these videos, Harris-Kenfinity.